Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, looked at the clock, and thought, why am I awake? What if I told you that 1,000 years ago, waking up in the middle of the night wasn't considered a problem at all? In fact, it was completely normal. And the strange part is, your brain might still be built for it today. For most of us, sleep is supposed to happen in one long stretch, 8 hours. Close your eyes, wake up. That's what we've been taught. But history tells a very different story. Imagine you're living in Europe 500 years ago. There's no electricity, no glowing phone screen, no television, no street lights outside your window. As the sun disappears, darkness quickly takes over. The only light comes from a small candle or a fireplace. You eat dinner, talk with your family, maybe tell a few stories, and then you go to bed only a few hours after sunset.
Not because you're tired, because there is simply nothing else to do. But here's where it gets strange. You don't sleep until morning. Instead, you sleep for about 4 hours. Then you wake up, not because of a nightmare, not because of stress, not because you checked your phone. You simply wake up naturally for almost 1 or 2 hours, and nobody thinks it's weird. People even had a name for it. They called it the first sleep. And after spending some quiet time awake, they returned to bed for their second sleep. This wasn't a rare habit. It appears again and again in old diaries, medical books, literature, and personal letters. People casually mentioned waking between their first and second sleep, as if everyone already understood what they meant, because everyone did. So what were they doing during that mysterious hour in the middle of the night? The answer might surprise you. Some people prayed. Many believed the quiet darkness brought them closer to God. Others simply sat near the fire. Some reflected on their dreams. Some planned the next day's work. Couples often spent time talking. Neighbors sometimes even visited each other. Midnight wasn't seen as wasted time. It was peaceful, calm, private,
Almost sacred. Now, think about your own life. When was the last time you experienced complete silence? No notifications, no traffic, no endless scrolling. For ancient people, this quiet moment happened every single night, and their minds may have benefited from it. Then everything changed. Not because humans changed, because the world changed. The Industrial Revolution arrived. Factories needed workers. Workers needed fixed schedules. Clocks became more important than the sun. Suddenly, sleeping in 2 parts became inconvenient. Businesses wanted people awake at the same time. Schools followed the same pattern. Cities filled with gas lamps, then electric lights. For the first time in human history, night stopped being truly dark. Our brains had evolved for millions of years with sunsets controlling sleep. Now bright light was available at midnight. The body became confused. Today we know why. Inside your brain is an internal clock called the circadian rhythm. It responds strongly to light. As darkness falls, your brain releases melatonin. This hormone signals that it's time to sleep. But modern life interrupts that signal. A bright phone screen at 11 p.m. can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime. It's like telling your body,
Don't sleep yet, night after night, year after year. Here's another strange fact. Some sleep researchers believe segmented sleep didn't disappear because it was unhealthy. It disappeared because society became faster. Historian Roger Ekirch spent years studying old records and found hundreds of references to first and second sleep. These weren't isolated stories. They were part of everyday life. Imagine explaining our modern sleep habits to someone from the year 1500. I stay awake under artificial light until midnight. Then I stare at a glowing rectangle before sleep. They'd probably think we were the strange ones. Now, here's a question. Have you ever woken up around 2 or 3 a.m., felt completely awake, then panicked because you thought something was wrong? That panic itself may actually make it harder to fall asleep again. Ancient people didn't panic. They expected it because they believed waking briefly during the night was normal. That difference in mindset changes everything. Your brain reacts different when it feels safe. It reacts differently when it thinks something is broken. Sometimes
The problem isn't waking up. The problem is believing you shouldn't have. Of course, that doesn't mean everyone should intentionally split their sleep today. Modern work schedules, school, family responsibilities, and individual health needs are different. Sleep science continues to evolve, and what works best varies from person to person. But history reminds us of something important. Many things we consider normal today are simply products of the world we built, not necessarily the world our brains evolved for. Think about this. For over 99% of human history, there were no smartphones, no electric lights, no late night streaming, no emails at midnight. Our ancestors lived according to the rhythm of nature. nature. We live according to the rhythm of our devices. Maybe that's why so many people feel exhausted, even after spending enough hours in bed. Sleep isn't just about time. It's also about rhythm, about light, about habits, about the signals we send our brain every evening. The next time you wake up in the middle of the night, instead of immediately assuming something is wrong, remember this: for countless generations,
That quiet moment between darkness and dawn was simply another part of being human. And maybe the biggest mystery isn't why ancient people slept twice every night. It's why we forgot that they ever did. Thanks for watching.